What's up guys? Welcome to my channel. Before we start the video, there's an announcement. Feel free to skip this part if you've already heard about it in one of my previous videos. To start things off, there's my anime rap channel called Sensei Beats. I posted some anime raps there, and I will continue to post more and more anime raps in the future. Your support and feedback will be much appreciated. Secondly, you guys should also consider joining my Discord server. It is a community where all kinds of otaku gather around to embrace the weeb within them. We have regular anime events like quizzes and stuff too. You guys should check it out. Now you can find links to both the rap channel and the Discord server in the description box below. Now, let's begin the video. Today we are only going to be talking about the anime that aired or are airing this year. Hopefully, it'll give you some clarity on which shows to watch. Well then, shall we begin? The first on our list is...
こんにちは。
僕の名前はリヒト。こんなところでいきなりなんですが、お金ください!
Plunderer. I've mentioned this anime over 9,000 times. I don't even know why. I mean, it's not like it's all that great or anything, but I guess it can be some sort of guilty pleasure for many people like myself. Anyways, the plot of this anime is a little unique. The story takes place in a world where most everything is decided by numbers. The main character is a guy who's been around for over 300 years. He spends his day trying to touch oppai and see panties. He sometimes gets into trouble with the military for a reason that is a little bit different than touching oppai of underage girls. So who is this guy? Why is he so strong? And how is he even alive after 300 years? Find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. It feels like it's been ages since I last used that joke, doesn't it? Next up, we have...
違う。また無茶をされたら困る。
黒さん逃げ。
Inspector. Now this anime is a little bit different than the average mystery anime. We have seen many different mystery anime where the characters try their best to find out the truth. Well, that isn't the case in this anime. In this anime, the main character uses every piece of information they have to create a logical fiction, or in other words, a lie. Iwanaga and Kuro are the two main characters. One of them is a 17-year-old girl who goes around solving problems related to yokai and ghosts. Honestly, pretty cute. The other one is her boyfriend. He's a college student who can't die and can also decide the future up to a certain extent. Simply put, he is immortal, but whenever he returns back from death, he returns with a vague idea of the future. I still think that this anime, along with id Invaded, both of them are very underrated. Which is such a shame considering how unusual and different these animes were. Next up we have... Darwin's Game. It's like this. There is a survival game. Whoever plays the game can make substantial amounts of money very quickly. While some people choose to play it off their own will, others somehow get dragged into playing it. The main character, Pseudo Kaname, is the latter. First he lost his friend, then he accidentally started the game, and because of that, he lost another friend. But now, he is trapped in the game with no way out. How will he handle the dozens of other players that will be coming after him? This story is a little bit different than your average in-game isekai. I'd say it's a good watch. Up next we have... Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. A girl named Hanju gets an invitation to play a very popular online VR MMO called New World Online. I'm sure you can see where this is going. She tries playing the game and names her character Maple. What's interesting is that this girl has never played any such VR games before. That's why her desire to not get hurt ends up getting the better of her. She uses all of her stat points to increase her defense. Just like that, she has the defense of an iron wall, but her other stats are at 0. So she is pretty much useless when it comes to making any form of impact. Or at least that's what everyone originally thought. Because she had her defense stat at the highest, she gets phenomenal skills like Total Defense, Poison Immunity, and Devour. You can think of her like Naofumi from Rising of the Shield Hero. That guy also had a defense-oriented weapon, didn't he? But in this anime, the emphasis is more on comedy than the darker themes of Rising of the Shield Hero. Up next is
お願い力を貸して嘘
Tower of God. Compared to this anime, all other anime on the list pale in comparison. The source is a manhwa. The art style gives that kind of vibe that you get when you read webtoons. Alright, so what is the most popular ongoing anime about? There's a tower, and people get summoned to climb it. Those who do end up climbing the tower can get whatever they want. These people are called regulars. On the other hand, there's Bam, or as you call him, Yoru. Both of them mean night. Bam doesn't know much about anything. His life before meeting a girl named Rachel is also a mystery. However, after he meets Rachel and becomes close friends with her, he wants nothing in the world except being with Rachel. That's right, all he wants is to stay by Rachel's side. That's it. But then, Rachel displays a subtle desire to climb the tower. She leaves Bam and starts climbing it. Nobody knows why she did such a thing. As for Bam, he thinks Rachel only wants to see the stars. Be that as that may, he was not the kind of guy who would sit and wait. He walks up to the tower and gets transported inside it. Just like that, his journey to climb the tower begins. But he wasn't chosen to climb the tower. Rather, he opened the door himself. These kind of people are called irregulars. Also, there's a lot more that separates the regulars from the irregulars than what appears on the surface. I'd say everyone should watch this anime. Some people might say it doesn't meet the hype, but I know in my heart and soul that this anime will only continue to get better and better until it becomes a masterpiece. Next up on the list is The Eighth Son? Are you kidding me? Imagine waking up as the son of a noble family, only to realize that the family doesn't have much resources to make ends meet. And you're not the oldest, or even the second son. You are the youngest. You are the 8th son. Well, that's more or less what happens to Shingo Ichimoya. He used to be a 25-year-old salaryman who was always exhausted by the huge amount of work that he had going on at his table. One day, as he's relaxing whilst thinking of tomorrow, he goes to sleep and then wakes up as a 6-year-old. From there on out, the story gets kind of awkward for both the boy and us. If you're interested in parents who had 8 kids despite knowing that they don't have enough resources to provide them with basic necessities, then by all means, check this anime out. Next up, we have the Shiro Neko Project, Zero Chronicle. This story takes place in a world where there are kingdoms. There are 2 different nations, we'll call them Black and White. The Black Kingdom is on the ground, and the White Kingdom is in the sky. The king of the Black Nation couldn't care less about his people. In fact, he forces them to go to war with the White Nation. The White King, on the other hand, is the opposite of the Black King. So far, not much has been revealed in terms of the plot or where the story is headed. The main character name is James Beckett from the Black Kingdom, by the way. Well then, let's move on to the next one.
ごめんね私もなのまだ死ねないクレアやめろクレア
Next up, we have Gleipnir. The main character of this anime is a high school student named Suichi. He's an excellent student, and he gets good grades. He doesn't suck at sports, and he isn't socially awkward either. So what's the catch? He is far from ordinary. He has a somewhat insane secret that he doesn't tell anybody about. From time to time, he just happens to turn into a mascot character. I've got to be honest here, when I first saw the trailer of this anime, I thought it would be a horror. That's why I was kind of disappointed to see that it wasn't. But whatever. We have ourselves a sadistic and twisted girl as the main female lead. One day, when Suichi was having another depressive talk with himself, he noticed that someone is inside a burning storage house. He seems unsure about helping them, but he still does it. Seems like he hasn't quit being human yet. The person inside is the main female lead, and her name is Claire, and her character is very likable. Up next, we have Bungo to Alchemist. The story takes place in a world where literary books have been tainted or over-exaggerated. The famous Japanese writers such as Dazai Ryunosuke, Shuya, and a few others have been reincarnated. They are here to immerse themselves into these tainted books in order to purify them and give the story a proper conclusion. People say this anime isn't for everyone, and I agree. To enjoy this anime, you should have at least read a little bit about the famous writers that this anime features. Otherwise, you'll end up being one of those people who have no idea what they're getting themselves into, then you'll end up giving the anime a bad rating. However, if you have watched some other anime that's centered around literature, let's say Tsuki ga Kirei. In that anime, the main character named Kotaro often refers to Dazai quotes. Like how he says a Dazai quote to himself at the cultural festival. Be laughed at and become strong. And then he said, I don't want to be getting laughed at though. It was a very good anime, guys. You should watch that one too. See? Many animes have quotes from amazing writers. This anime is about the adventures of those writers. Next up, we have
そんじゃもういらん
Dorohedoro. The last anime on our list is violent and obscene. In fact, it is perfect for those who want some hardcore violence. Remember how I said all the anime in this list pale in comparison to Tower of God? Well, this one is an exception. Let's talk about it. There are holes. You can think of them as districts where the predators prey on the prey. There are no laws or ethics. You die, you die. The main character is an unusual presence. His name is Kaima, and a magic user put a curse on his head in the past. This anime can very well be called a horror anime, and what's surprising is that even though it has such a dark premise, it somehow manages to pull off some decent comedy. Trust me guys, you do not want to miss out on this one. Just, don't watch it in front of your little brother or sister, okay? Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Before you go, be sure to like and comment. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. Well then, see you all in my next video. Until then, stay safe and watch anime.
ところで太もももみしだく
はい